What's good, my boy? Got rained out today, so I figured I'd make a little video. And this is kind of about comparisons and shit we do in our head when trying to make art or not copy, but do some of the things similar to people that inspire us. All along this journey that I've been on, finding myself, making art, starting businesses, construction, all this different shit. I've constantly found myself comparing myself, a little double thing right there. Constantly found myself comparing myself to the people that inspired me the most. From music, my musical inspirations change like fucking underwear because my the shit that I love is just so vast. I mean, I got the fucking Beatles next to Kanye, and Frank Sinatra next to fucking Mac Miller, Tame Impala next to the Tribe Called Quest. I like literally fucking. There hardly isn't any genre of music that I don't like. And the shit that I might say that I don't like, I just haven't listened to it enough, and I could probably find some qualities. It's just like the thing I love the most is probably music, and I've constantly found myself, whatever person that I'm really into, when did they blow up at this age? Fucking Google this shit. When did Kurt Cobain make his first album? And shit like this, like that sort of a thing. And it transferred over into every avenue. It's like, this is fucking crazy, but I do oil paintings a lot. I'm like, when did Da Vinci first make this? When did Andy Warhol or Michael Basquiat blow up on the scene? And I realized how stupid this is a while back. So I'm making this video because I know that I'm not the only one that does this shit. This is a very common trope with many people chasing their dreams. Even entrepreneurial shit. I'm a general contractor and I work construction, and I constantly find myself being like, thinking like, when did this guy build his first addition or do his first remodel? It's just all horseshit, bro. Because everything you do is individual to you. People go to college at like 40 years old. People age and like comparing yourself on that scale and like your time frame and angst and all this desperate shit is just a construct fabricated in your head, and it completely misses the purpose and the meaning to truly doing what you love, which is to do what you love and quit worrying about all the subsidies that can come out of it. It's all about the only thing you should be getting out of it is two things. And this is going to go off of making art. I'm talking art, not commerce here. Art. You should get out of it something that you love and are proud of, not something that you think other people will like. And you should also get out of it and a way to discover and find yourself. I remember 2 years ago, before I allowed myself full scale creativity and just like unlimited and just like open the gates of possibilities for my mind and curiosity to venture into, and allowed myself to go down those paths. But I remember I found myself very lonely. I found myself sad and depressed very often. And I'm not saying I've cured these things, but I very rarely find that I'm not comfortable alone. It's like finding a mystical, magical thing. I can think back to these times of how desperate and angsty I was, where I would start down a path. I moved to where I'm at now, and tried what I'm doing now, and I've been doing for over a year now. I tried it, and I only lasted 3 months in this like solitude type thing of just like grinding, and just like I don't go out and I don't do a lot of party shit like that. It's just a lot of focus and just into my crafts. But I tried it back then, and it wasn't that I couldn't remain disciplined. It wasn't like I was like fucking Travis Bickle where I couldn't figure out what was going on and I'm unaware of my own actions and thoughts. It wasn't that. It was that I'd get lonely and so depressed that it was like almost unbearable, to the point where I went back to where all my friends were and I crawled back into that comfortable cave and stayed there for a while until what seemed like the universe and God like directed me through several things. I got evicted from the house I lived in for like 15 years, and it really shaked my whole world up because I had to move. This is a little while after I went back to that comfortable period after failing 3 months, and it forced me to move from all of these friends back into solitude. It forced me into solitude, but I resisted. I moved this 2 hours away, not where I'm at now, but I moved this 2 hours away, and I battled. I fully embraced discovery. I started doing music. I didn't make as much money at all as I make now, but I bought a couple pieces of equipment and dabbled with it, and it didn't work out after 2 months, and I started getting angsty and desperate, and I allowed this like shroud of like loneliness and like angst and like, man, why do I not have what these people have? I'm putting in work, but I wasn't putting in the fucking work. I only tried shit for like 2 months, and I allowed that shroud to so I gave up on my music, things that I was truly into. And then I kept like passion hopping, if you will. I jumped from music, and from music it went to YouTube videos. And whenever I made a couple YouTube videos and they didn't blow up, I jumped from that to like film and directing, and I convinced myself a way to crawl back into that comfort cavern. Okay? I convinced myself to give up on making the YouTube videos, something that I could actively do day by day. Whether or not they go anywhere, I'm still going to grow by just practicing doing this every day. I couldn't keep up with it. So I found this next thing of like film and all these directors, and I just found myself binge watching all of these like fucking directors and like camera lens and all this like technique on filmmaking and all this shit. Okay, just completely distracting myself by convincing my brain that I was learning when I was just wasting time. And I would drink like fucking 20 shots of vodka and whatever alcohol I could get my hands on a day. I was heavily addicted to pornography. I was just like fucking this like in this weird little space of time. And then I got in a car accident, totaled my car, and almost fucking died, really. And it forced me again. The universe shifted and forced me to end up where I'm at now. And I've been doing this, fought it at first, but I've been consecutively going towards my passions and growing on an uphill, not a up, down, down, just straight up of growth and development for over 9 months. And the reason why is, this might have seemed like a big ramble here. I stopped comparing myself and I stopped caring. It's paramount. It is absolutely paramount that you stop caring what other people think and stop comparing yourself to the people you want to be and nestle yourself into being yourself. Nestle yourself into being yourself. Don't think about what people are going to think, and don't try to be anybody else. Be you completely. Whatever weird fucking thing that is. Maybe you like playing with army men and Play-Doh and Barbie dolls, and you're like 25. Who cares? I can judge you. I can probably think you're a fucking weirdo, but that shouldn't matter to you. You might think I'm a weirdo with all this fucking shit on my walls and instruments and amount of money I I invest into this shit. But I don't care. I've nestled myself into being myself. And from there, the only thing to turn to is whatever you're passionate about, do it. But don't do it under the preconception that it's going to net you or help you escape from the matrix or get you out of where you're at. It has the possibility to do that, but that's not the reason why. And each time it doesn't work out for you, you need to realize that, all right, you're not gaining monetarily or success from it, but you're successful in your own right in the sense that you're developing yourself. Every day you're growing. That is the purpose. It's, you want to grow financially, and whenever you don't see the financial growth, you think you're failing and not gaining anything, but you are. You're gaining yourself another step. You had to come all the way down here and realize who you are. And once you're yourself, you can fucking climb up there as yourself. You don't want to try to climb up this fucking ladder of life and development being someone that you're not, or thinking about other people, or thinking about other people. You want to be yourself and go along the path as yourself, uniquely you. You're the one that got to be born. You're the special fingerprint. That's your specialness. Now it's about what you're going to do with it. And I want to touch on one thing. I'm going to start touching on this in most of my videos at the end. Art is not commerce. Okay? Commerce is selling things for somebody else. You're creating something to provide value for something else. That's not what art is. Art is not about the money, and it's not about the audience. It's about you. It's about expressing yourself through whatever medium you choose. Like I said, it could be fucking playing with toys. That's what musicians are. We're just adults playing with fucking keyboards and toys and shit, and expressing ourselves. Me playing the guitar beautifully is just like me being 5 years old playing with WWE action figures on a Saturday and making them fight because I'm angry I didn't get to go outside and play basketball. It's the same level of expression, just on a different format. And that's it. Art is not commerce. Making art for somebody else and for money is commerce, and it makes it not art. But if you make something as a documentation of how you are feeling at a specific point in time, and it's just like a diary entry, this is what Rick Rubin talks about. If you make it as a diary entry, then there's no reason to think external and think about other people or compare yourself. Fucking David Bowie right there is one of my biggest artistic inspirations. The dude lived a fucking whole life of just creativity. His whole life was a creative expression. Okay? But as much as I love David Bowie and respect him and like his art, I will not try to make anything like him, or the Beatles, or Johnny Cash, or the Rolling Stones, or Pink Floyd, or fucking Kanye West, or Frank Sinatra. I won't. I admire all these people and they inspire me every day I look at my walls. But I will never try to make something like them. It might sound similar, but the intention off the bat is not to make something like them, because I'm making something for me that sounds like me. Okay? It's gone on long enough. Stop comparing yourself to others. Stop looking up the ages of people whenever they broke through with whatever they did and you want to do the same thing. Stop comparing yourself to, well, that kind of sums that up. Stop thinking about what other people are going to think. Fuck the external and think about the internal. Chase paper, enjoy art and nature, and have a good one, my boy.